All right, hi. I'm Ricky from Rev Consultants. So I help subcontractors win more tenders at their target profit, 12 weeks or less, even if they're time poor, overwhelmed, don't know where to start. Basically, my goal is to help make this process as simple and successful as possible so that you can win those bigger contracts with less stress. I'm here on a regular basis, so jump on, ask me a question, or DM me anything you feel like would be helpful for me to cover. This is your opportunity to basically ask me anything. All right, so this week's topic for discussion, it's the sixth in a series of lives that I'm doing on pricing and getting pricing right, with the focus this week on overheads. So to start with, what are overheads and why are they important? So you can think of overheads as any business expense that you won't recover directly from your estimate and your pricing. So the examples of the stuff that you do cover directly for your pricing is your labor, plant, materials that you build up and form part of your estimate. The stuff that you're not directly recovering from your estimate, the common examples are stuff like your expenses like accounting fees, accreditation fees, business office costs if you've got one, not the side office, your company office, um, any business marketing costs, etc., i.e., their business running expenses, not project expenses. Basically, because every business has different expenses, every business will have different overheads. This is going to be true of even businesses that are in the same industry or in the same trade. So it's really important that you know what your overheads are. Why? Because you need to recover them through your pricing. So if you're not calculating your overheads and you're using an arbitrary figure, then you're really risking your overheads eating up your profit. And in fact, if at the end of your accounting period, you keep finding that you're not left with much retained profit, this is a clear indication that there's something wrong with your pricing, and there's a good chance that you're not accounting for your overheads properly in your pricing. So how do you include for overheads in your estimate? So overheads are allowed for as a percentage in your estimate. This percentage, it's usually grouped with your profit and added onto your cost. Hence why the percentage is termed OH&P, or overheads and profits. But it's really important that you know what percentage you're applying for these, like each of these. So I'm gonna take a look at an example of how you would do this, how you would calculate it. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this is a simple Excel spreadsheet that I've created. And on my left-hand side here, I've got my overhead expenses and the cost for the year. So I've, for my business, I've deemed my overhead expenses as insurance at £1,200. My office rental, accreditations and memberships. I have office manager. So this is a staff that I employ that sits in the office that manages things outside of the project, for example. I've got company vehicle costs, tendering costs, particularly if you outsource some of that. I've got accounting fees, marketing expenses, so the website and anything else that you might do, and some training and expenses, etc., etc. So I've got a list of my expenses for my business, and that is coming to a cost of $71,400 per year. You can, if you have accounting software like QuickBooks and Xero, a lot of this is going to come from there. So you can kind of get a good start on this list from those software tools. Okay, so next, I'm predicting my yearly turnover. So what's the figure that you are comfortably predicting to turn over for the next year? In this example, I'm saying a turnover of £1 million that I can comfortably make. Now, when I divide my yearly expenses by my turnover, it's going to give you a percentage. And in this example, it's 7.14%. So this is my overhead percentage. And what does it mean? It means that if I stick to my overhead expenses and I hit my yearly turnover, then of every job that I win, or every job that makes up that yearly turnover, 7.14% of that is needed to recover to pay for my expenses or my overheads. So this is my figure, 7.14%. So let's move over to the estimate. This is the build up that we've done through earlier lessons. I've got my percentage overheads. In this example, or in my tender book, I split them. I'm going to put that in here now, round it up, 7.5%. And this is my overheads that I'm going to recover for this job. So it's that simple, but that important. If you're not recovering enough from here, it's going to come out of here, your profit pot, which is not what we want to do at the end of the day. One last important thing is this percentage calculation is 7.5% of the total value of the tender, not the costed total, which actually works out to 8.1% to be added on top. So just important to note that is a little bit higher if you're just adding it on top of there as an OH&P percentage. Okay. So, right, that is basically my quick example. I hope it was useful. And basically, in summary, when you submit a tender, you should be clear on what your overheads are. And you can't really use someone else's. You need to know what yours are. Overheads are also, they're dynamic. And every company's overheads are different. They're dynamic because as you grow, things change. So like you're going to put that extra office staff member on, or you're going to get that extra vehicle or piece of plant, equipment, whatever it may be. So your overheads, they're gonna change with you as you grow. Your profit or your expected turnover is also going to grow, and that's going to shift your overhead percentage around. So for these reasons, it's really important that you review and you update your overheads on a regular basis. So I would say quarterly minimum. This is going to ensure that you're recovering your overheads properly and it's not going to come out of your target profit. So take the time to work out what your overheads are that you need to include for every job and allow for it accordingly. This is going to ensure that you're setting up for a successful and profitable project. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope that was useful. Stay tuned for my next live. I'm going to cover another impactful tendering topic. It's going to be the next one in the series of the pricing series, which is going to be on profit. If you'd like to speak to me about your tendering, I offer a free number of limited. I offer a limited number of free calls each month to talk specifically about how you can improve your tendering. So there's a link on my LinkedIn profile to book one of these if you'd like. Thank you, and see you again soon.